So if you're looking for a summary of how to do a product launch formula strategy, like what Jeff Walker teaches, stick around because I'm going to give you a really quick summary just to help you understand the concept of how it all works. And then if you want to learn more, I've got an even deeper dive video that'll show you exactly for each single step of the way what to do. I hope this is really helpful. And I've even got some special bonuses for you. All right, so the very first thing you want to do, a product launch formula strategy, the way that Jeff Walker has set it up is you have 3 pieces. So 1, 2, 3 pieces of what he calls PLC, which is your pre-launch content. This is before you launch your product or service. It's to start generating that reciprocity, that goodwill. And in these 3 pieces of content, you are going to give the concept of the vision of what life will be like once they have your product or service. You're going to take their problems that they have that your product and service solves for them, and you're going to show them the concept of how to solve their problems. Like you're actually going to give them information that they could totally do and take on their own, but you're going to make it easier for them by offering them an easier solution. An example of a product launch formula strategy that I did is I have a course, and it's to help parents with teaching their kids about money. So in my pre-launch content, I create pieces of content that show them, okay, one of the problems that parents have when it comes to teaching their kids about money is getting them excited. So my first piece of information that I give for free is how to get kids excited about wanting to learn about money. And the solution I give them is that they need to teach their kids about goal setting, to sit down and have some tangible goals that require money in order to achieve those goals. So maybe it's buying the latest game, maybe it's going on a vacation or going to a special amusement park, right? But some sort of physical, tangible something that they have as a goal that they want to achieve. And so this is something they could do on their own. So it's helpful. It will also get even easier when they use my special tools that I have inside of my course, like my goal-o-meter, right? But then it brings to the next problem. So now the kids are interested in learning about money, but then what? So in the next piece of information, I'm going to teach them ways that kids can earn money. So now their kids are excited to learn about money, but they're going to need some money in order to start learning how to manage their money. So the next big problem that my parents have is the struggle of knowing whether or not they should give their kids an allowance or have them earn their own money, right? And so the next piece of my PLC, my product launch content, is to then show them that, well, there are pros and cons when it comes to giving your child an allowance. You could be setting them up to be an entitled child. However, it does give them money, right, to manage. So there is that. If they earn their own money, the problem is that it might be hard to find a way for their child to earn their own money, especially if they live out in the country and they're not like easily within reach of other people. They couldn't just do yard work or things like that. But the pro is that they build up this pride of ownership because they're earning their own money and they don't get the entitlement mentality. They're not going to just go to their parents and use them like a personal ATM bank machine. They're going to actually be like, oh, I want this thing. How can I make the money to get this thing? So I go through that in that PLC, in that pre-launch content. And so it shows the parents how they can approach your kids, whether or not about allowances or earning their own money, with some fun ways they could do it themselves. And then inside my course, which I will offer to them later, I find even easier ways and examples and ideas of actual things their kids can do at home, online, and out and beyond. And I also show them ways that they could use both an allowance or not and an alternative, right? So they have a solution right from their product launch content, but they get even more one-on-one help in the course. So I'm making them happy. Then the next problem that they have is, okay, so now they're excited to learn about money. They know they can either get an allowance or they can make their own money, but how do they become money smart? How do they learn how to manage their money in a way that it stays fun and it uses the power of both long-term goal setting and short-term gain, right? We want to have long-term goals, delayed gratification, where you're really putting in the energy, and when you receive that end result, you're so proud and that lesson sticks for life. But we also know that children are really short-term individuals and they want that immediate gratification. So how do we balance that? How do we take immediate gratification to actually teach them about delayed gratification. And so in that PLC, I would then give them the concept of, well, in the 6 piggy banks that I have, there are delayed gratification jars and there's an immediate gratification jar. It's called the fun jar. And you separate your money equally across these different jars. And then in the course, I teach them even more about each jar and how it works and how your child can make it excited. But they learn the principle of the long term. So like long-term goals that they want to achieve, saving up money to start their own businesses so their money can work for them, and so on and so on and so on. Things like rainy day funds, in case life happens to hit them hard, because I don't know, life happens to hit all of us hard at some stage, right? If I'm right, give me a thumbs up. And then the instant gratification is the fun jar, where they get to just spend the money right away on whatever they want, as long as it's within the parents' moral concerns and so on and so on. But that way they get it out of their system. And over time, what happens is a lot of the kids actually really want that end term goal. And they start choosing to put some of their instant gratification money, their fun money, into their long term goal. And it's really cool. So they learn how to do that in that last PLC. And then, of course, I offer them in my open cart access to the entire course, which then offers them ways to teach their kids about money through storytelling. I have a whole bunch of short stories, and for young kids, for tweens, and for teenagers, all the different levels that are really fun and engaging. And it allows the child to learn the lesson alongside their favorite character, root for them for success, and boo with them when things go wrong, but encourage them, don't worry, keep going, right? And that really gets those money lessons set in their mindset for life. So I've given amazing content in my pre-launch content, and then I've given them an even bigger reason to want to get the course at the end. And they trust me because I've already helped them. And they like me because they've learned, our connection is already there. And now they want me to do the work for them so they don't have to do all the work themselves. That's a big one. If your business in any way can help people do less work, you have a good business. All right, I have some special bonuses for you. And I also have a deep dive into how the product launch formula actual steps, what the product launch formula steps are. You can watch that up here. And if you want to take a look at the bonuses that I have to help your business really skyrocket, then check those out. I've even got a brand new AI bonus in there for you. And I even have a pre-done template for your own product launch formula that you can just copy and paste and use right there in your own website. So I hope that helps. I'll see you here, or here, or here, or here. Definitely over here.